Hi, friends. Today we're going to look at some shooting stars. So, as always, we need our space helmet on, our space suit on, bring everything you need on the spaceship, buckle one side in, buckle the other side, and off we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! All right, today we are going to be looking at shooting stars. Let's see if we can find one. There's one. Did you see it? Shooting stars are amazing. They are awesome to look at. However, have you ever really wondered what shooting stars are and how they're formed and why they shoot through the sky? Let's find out. What is a shooting star? A shooting star is a really small piece of rock or dust that hits Earth's atmosphere from space. It moves fast and it heats up and glows as it moves through the sky or the atmosphere. Shooting stars are actually what astronomers call meteors. Most meteors burn up in the atmosphere before they reach the ground. Some other facts about shooting stars are they are extremely fast. They reach speeds over 120,000 miles per hour. Whoa. Scientists use shooting stars to predict or guess the weather and to understand the atmosphere. The size of a shooting star varies. They can be large or small. As they fall to Earth, they become smaller and smaller in size. Shooting stars occur during the daytime, but they can also be seen better at nighttime. Has anybody seen a shooting star before at night? They go pretty quickly. All right, finally today we have a video, and it's a question that somebody asks, and it says, has a shooting star ever landed on someone? So we're going to find out if a shooting star has ever landed on anyone before. So stay tuned. Make sure you're paying attention.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mariana.
I got a question for you. Has a shooting star ever landed on someone?
That is a great question. You've seen water fall from the sky. Maybe you've seen snow. Maybe you've even seen hail. That's when round bits of ice fall from the sky. But on June 28, 1911, if you were living in the small town of Abu Qumus, Egypt, then you saw what looked like this falling from the sky. As it was falling, people heard what sounded like an explosion. Dogs started barking. The townspeople went out to see what it was. There, on the ground, in the area outside of town, was a rock. A rock that had come from outer space. But what was a rock doing up in space in the first place? And why did it suddenly fall and hit the Earth? Before I say anything more, now would be a good time to pause the video and discuss. Okay, you ready? Well, if you go outside on a dark night, chances are you might spot one of these. Did you see that? Look again, right there. See that? This is what people are talking about when they talk about a shooting star. But what is it? What's happening when you see one of these? That was a question that had been one of the great mysteries of all time. For a long, long time, nobody knew. It wasn't until that one summer day in Egypt, the day a rock fell from the sky and landed on the ground, that we finally started to realize just what a shooting star is. A shooting star isn't a star at all. It's a rock from space, or the word that scientists use, they call it a meteor. You may have heard that word before, like if you've heard the idea that it was a huge meteor that might have killed off the dinosaurs so long ago. A meteor which we think might have been one of the biggest meteors to ever hit the Earth, one as big as an entire city. Or there's places like this, Meteor Crater in Arizona, a place where scientists think a meteor about half the size of a football field once slammed into the Earth. But why are we constantly getting hit by rocks from space? What are these rocks even doing up there? Well, as we've learned more about our solar system, we've realized that it's not just the 8 planets and the sun. there are also a lot of rocks that float around in between the planets. Many of them are located between Mars and Jupiter, what we call the asteroid belt. But some of them are floating around in the pathway of the Earth too. And when these rocks get too close to the Earth, they get pulled toward us. As anything falls toward the Earth from space, it's constantly rubbing against the air of the Earth's atmosphere, which heats it up so hot that it glows. This is why a meteor or shooting star is bright and gives off light as it streaks across the sky. And you can already guess, just from the examples we've talked about, meteors come in all different sizes. There are definitely huge meteors out there, ones like the kind that caused this crater in Arizona. Ones this big are incredibly rare though. One like this might not hit Earth for thousands and thousands of years. On the other end are meteors like the kind that can be seen on any given night. These meteors are the most common. They're hitting Earth every day and every night. From dark skies, you can notice as many as 2 or 3 per hour each night. But they're also the smallest meteors. Even though these meteors give off enough light that you can see them in the nighttime sky, amazingly, scientists have discovered that most of these meteors are no bigger than a grain of sand. Isn't that incredible? But could a meteor ever land on a person? Given how small these everyday meteors are, it probably won't surprise you to hear that even if one of these did hit a person, that person might not even feel it. But what about one a little bigger, like the size of the meteor that landed in Egypt? Even meteors this size are still incredibly rare. And keep in mind, the Earth is such a big place that most of the meteors like this that do fall to Earth fall into the ocean or out into the middle of nowhere where nobody notices them. But on the evening of October 9th, 1992, a bright meteor was seen by people all over the eastern part of the United States. When it landed, it crashed into a parked car sitting there in the town of Peekskill, New York. Luckily, no one was inside the car. And even better news, lots of people wanted to own a piece of this rock that had come from space. The owner of the car was able to sell the meteor for over $50,000. If you like that story, I've got something even more amazing. On the afternoon of November 30th, 1954, a woman named Elizabeth Ann Hodges was taking a little nap on her couch. Suddenly, a meteor the size of a grapefruit came crashing through her roof and landed right on her hip. It gave her a nasty bruise, but she did recover, and she became, we think, the first person ever in history to be hit by an object from outer space. That's all for this week's question. Thanks, Mariana, for asking it. Now, for the next episode.
All right, friends. So, wow, that was very interesting. We are going to look on Seesaw today, and you're going to write down 3 facts you learned today about shooting stars. Are shooting stars really stars? What are shooting stars made out of? Do shooting stars move fast or slow? Has anyone ever been hit by a shooting star? These are some facts that you can put in if you know the answers to them. Remember, you can record your voice, or you can use the texting tool, or write it in a journal and take a picture of it. Finally, on the second page, there will be a sky view and a night sky app that a parent can download. Make sure you ask a family member. And you can look at some cool constellations and different stars that appear in the sky. So you can use those apps as well. You do not have to, but it is just something that is available if you would like to see some cool constellations through really neat apps. All right, everybody, I am sorry that I couldn't be with you today, but I will see you again bright and early Wednesday morning because we have a full day of learning. There is not an asynchronous day on Wednesday. It will be on Friday. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good afternoon and have a good night. Bye, everybody. Oh, no. I almost forgot. We need to get back to Earth. Make sure you're ready. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Okay, we're back in Earth. Now, everybody have a great afternoon and night. I'll see you tomorrow, 9:15. Bye.